and welcome back. Fantasy Happy Hour, last regular season episode of the year. Moving on to playoffs starting next week. So thanks for joining us. Uh, this one, we got Washington football team versus Philadelphia Eagles. And boy, oh boy, we were all in on Zach Ertz last week, and that kind of flopped on us. Did not go well. I even put him as a captain in one of my lineups, and that was a big mistake. But oh well, if it would have panned out, it would have panned out great, and we would have been sitting pretty. But it's the way it goes, I guess. Sometimes, um, yeah, this one should be an okay one. I mean, I expect Philly to win this one, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. What are you thinking for this one, Tarin? You want to give us a little bit of a rundown?
Well, the Washington football team are in a situation where they win and they're in. So they'll win that division if they win. They have the advantage over, I believe it's the Cowboys. So currently they're sitting in as of today before this game occurs. And so I think this is a do or die game for Washington. And I do believe that, the chance of the Cowboys beating the Giants is pretty good. So they're going to need this game and they'll know. So you're going to know if they need to fight for it or not fight for it. Because if Cowboys lose, this game's pretty much worthless. But overall, the Eagles are eliminated now. They have been officially done. Ertz I called him turds on my thing here because he still put up 2x value. He was 3K last week and he put up 6 points. So, I mean, can't complain at that, but he just doesn't. This offense is just, I don't know what to say. Like you'll see Hurts go for 30 points, but like no receiver or tight end go for more than 15. Like he's doing it all himself and he's throwing to like a onslaught of guys that I've never heard of half the time. So I consider taking Hurts by himself is what I wrote down here. So watch this game where, Showdown I saw yesterday, I think it was Cam Newton was solo with the other, whatever. It was all five of Buffalo Bills. And that was because Cam Newton rushed the touchdown. He got the only touchdown, he rushed it. And that's a good chance Hurts is going to do that as well. So in this case, if you're going to captain anybody on Philly, I think you go to Hurts. He passes to too many options to really have a receiver outscore him in this case. And he rushes for a floor of like 25 to 40 yards. So, he's been seeing more than 24 DK points. We saw his ceiling at 40 points the other week. So I think this is a great option for him to, I think they want to play spoiler. This will be the Sunday night showdown where, they're looking to play spoiler for the Washington football team in a division game. And then if I'm going to the other side, the problem with the Washington football team is who's going to play quarterback. I expect they're going to play Alex Smith this week because they're going to push to play somebody, especially in a do or die game. But like, I don't know, it's captain check down here. Logan Thomas and McKissick are your two options to me at captain for Washington. They're just target hogs because these quarterbacks can't throw deep. Even if Terry plays, which is a maybe at this point, he's questionable. He didn't play last week. You're going to see Logan Thomas get his 12 targets he's been seeing. You're seeing McKissick get 11. And in a game where they need to probably pass to kind of keep up with a good run defense, you're going to look to those two guys as volume plays in DFS, especially in DraftKings where it's full PPR. So I think those are your two captain options for Washington. And of course, fill your flex with the other one. In Philly, if you want to flex anybody, I mean, I wrote down, mix and match because, we saw, Jalen Rager's getting the best volume. He's seeing 7 or 8 targets. And along with the tight ends, they're probably your highest volume guys. But, Quez Watkins might be a cheap play. He came in and caught 3 balls last week, and I don't know who that is, which receiver. Fulgham's disappeared in this offense, which doesn't make sense to me. He was so good in the beginning. And I just don't know who you play. Djax, even though he caught that one ball for 81 yards and a touchdown, they gave him one target. Like, I don't know if he was hurt or what happened, but, catches a bomb and then he's just gone for the rest of the game. So this is very confusing. I mean, Miles Sanders is an option here. He does catch quite a bit and gets volume, but in this type of game environment where Washington's D, especially their D line, is so good, I mean, you could lean defenses in your flex spots, but bounce over to Washington. You could probably play Antonio Gibson and McKissick together. We did see that work earlier in the season, especially on a showdown. Gibson, if this turns into a rushing game and Philly kind of dies off in that defense, he's been awesome when he's valuable, and he gets a lot of targets as well. And then Cam Sims, if McLaurin's out, seems to be the target guy. He gets 9 targets last game. He seems to be, I guess, that makeup receiver if you need him. I think both defenses, both kickers are in play here. Both are pretty good. I actually don't like the Philly kicker that much. He's been missing quite a bit lately. And then fade. I mean, if you want to play the Washington quarterback that plays, you can, but I don't like any of them. They tend to dump off a lot more than getting high fantasy value. But in this game, you might need quarterbacks just to get you that 10 points as your peak guys in your flex. But I don't know. Do you see this game kind of moving, low total, high total?
I mean, I don't really know. Like I 100% am on taking the Jalen Hurts. Like he's a must-have. I think you have to have him. Um, the other option I really like for Philly is Sanders. I again, like you pointed out already, you see Deshaun Jackson who has the 15 points, but it's really only off one big play. So you're like, this is one of those games where both receiving cores, like on the wide receivers, you look at them and they're all under 10 fantasy points, and you're like, what do I do? So it's going to be interesting. I feel like it's going to be one of them's going to have. It's just going to be there's going to be one receiver. Maybe it's Sims, maybe it's Jackson. Who knows? That really takes you to that first place finish this week. Um, I do like taking if you're more in favor of the Redskins. I do like taking the Redskins defense in this one. They always tend to put up, even if they let in a lot of points, they always still tend to get 7-8 points off sacks and recoveries, and so I don't mind that option as well. But yeah, more or less on the same page as you. I mean, we saw all three receiver, or I think it was three, maybe four on Washington this past Sunday under 10. They were invisible.
Yeah.
You just had McKissick and Thomas really on the board, and then the defense as well. So, I mean, I'm thinking if you're favoring depending on how the morning game pans out and if Washington needs to win or not, then I'd really be going Hurts and then toss a coin for Sanders or Goddard or Jackson, and then 4 Redskins, right? And I'm probably taking 3 players in the defense, but
I would consider a lot of naked Hurts too, and doing like Hurts in the Eagles D and the Washington D and 3 Washington players. Like even just putting Hurts by himself with nothing could be valuable in this because, yeah, or just catching that one receiver, like you said, is kind of my play too. I'm leaning 4 2s and 5-1 stacks for Washington myself.
yeah, no, I agree with you. Again, I think it really depends on if Dallas wins in the morning, then it'll make this one a little bit more exciting, and you probably go flip it all the way to Redskins pulling out the win and really needing it. But
I do think the Giants still have a chance. So if they win, there is a chance there because they're still on the playoff picture. I just don't know the scenario that would need to happen.
okay, well, let us know what you guys are picking. If you enjoyed our first regular season, if you liked it, give us a like, and if you really liked it, maybe subscribe to us. Hopefully, we can hit 100 before next season. But yeah, thanks for watching, and have a good New Year's.